betting app in the state of Arkansas. No questions asked, no problem about it. I lost a lot of money to them this past weekend. So you know that they know what they're doing when it comes to their specials that they have for Arkansas, player props for not only Arkansas, but all sports of all different walks of life. Check it out by downloading the app today at the App Store or the Android store. It's the BetSaracen app. All right, buy or sell. And we'll start with this one because we already kind of talked about it. But buy or sell that Arkansas will score more than 21 points this weekend against Tennessee.
Sell.
Yeah, I think I'm selling. I mean, they've given up like 27 points the entire season. I don't know if I can go for more than 21.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what the point total. Man, I need to check Saracen, see what Arkansas's point total is set at for over under. But yeah, if you only score 17 against Texas A&M, I have a feeling that it's probably going to be tough. So I'd probably end up selling that one as well. All right, so buy or sell that Isaac TeSlaa will follow up last weekend's performance with another great performance this weekend against Tennessee.
Sell.
Yeah, I was hoping y'all would say buy, honestly, because I think I'm selling this as well. Just, you know,
these guys don't stack games for whatever reason. When it happens, it'll be the first time. So
he also had 120 yards. So it's like, God, you know, I think that's a pretty high bar. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be more like a 2 for 20 type of day for TeSlaa.
And like Satania, I mean, he had 6 receptions, so he was definitely involved in the offense after the big game the week prior, but he had 27 yards or whatever. But yeah, outside of Andrew Armstrong, we need to go look this up. When is the last time an Arkansas receiver had 2, what we would qualify as like legitimately good games stacked in a row?
Yeah, I don't know. Did Satania do anything against UAB?
I don't think so.
I don't think
Nothing
he did either.
Note. Yeah.
So yeah, that is a good point. Like Arkansas's receiver, it is kind of a little bit of a, you know, you can get one of those guys. I do think like between TeSlaa, Satania, and Broden, whoever else, Jordan Anthony, one of those guys will probably have some good moments in this game. But it definitely doesn't seem like it's going to be a consistent thing, because that was kind of what we were challenging Isaiah Satania to do last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was looking at even last season for Andrew Armstrong, for instance, to see if he had any double stack games. His best game was he actually gets Florida on the road. He had 3 catches, 103 yards, no touchdowns. He only had 5 touchdown receptions last year, which
and
is
0
what it is.
this year.
Yeah, so he's on pace to have less. But it looked like the only time that he had like back-to-back decent games, and I say decent games, was against LSU. He had 6 catches for 76 yards. And then against A&M, he had 3 catches for 78 yards and a touchdown.
Okay.
And then I guess Ole Miss would be the next one. So he had 3 because he had 8 catches, 86 yards against Ole Miss, but no touchdown. So it's not been frequent. And even in his great games, they haven't been like that great.
Right.
So, you know, I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy the Isaac TeSlaa stock because I am hoping that opportunity breeds more opportunity, and him taking advantage of his opportunity is going to get him the ball more. And we can sit here and we can look at plays that, of course, you know, Tyrone Broden's had problems with his drops. Andrew Armstrong's getting left out to dry on occasion, but you know, we know how good he is, but everyone's going to be targeting him. Satania's been pretty solid for the most part, but I don't know. Like, I feel like when TeSlaa hasn't been very often, but when he's gotten the ball, he's caught it. He's made a play afterwards. He's been physical. So I'd like to think that he's going to get more opportunities. I can't guarantee it because I don't know what Bobby Petrino's thinking and what Taylor Green's going to be doing, but I don't know. I don't like Isaac TeSlaa for another big game. And when I say big game, like 60 yards.
Buy or sell. Isaac TeSlaa plays more offensive snaps than Tyrone Broden.
I was just about to say, I do actually buy that they're going to try. Like I do think he's going to start, like just based on when Pittman says a guy should probably start, usually that means he's probably going to, they want him to start. So I do think he's going to play more snaps. Maybe I'm crazy for that. And we'll see what it looks like. But I do think they're going to at least try and put him in a position to succeed.
I don't think he starts or plays more snaps than Broden.
I mean, hey, history is probably on your side, honestly.
And that's really frustrating. But I tend to agree. And I wish I knew why. I wish I knew why that was going to be that case. But
it would be a good decision for it to go the other way.
Our boy Whitty. Anytime we mention Broden, we get Whitty coming out of here talking about buy. We love you, Whitty. We really do. And not just because you give us money. We just love your contribution to the show.
Yeah, I feel like I need to tell Whitty that we've decided that all the money's donated is going to the NIL fund for Tyrone Broden. So appreciate you, and I'm sure he will too. But yeah, because Tesla at this point in time has 9 catches on the year, one more than Broden. Can't imagine what the target level is like between the two of them, but
Goodness, yeah,
9 catches,
But he has half
205
the
yards.
targets, realistically.
Mm-hmm. It's also crazy too that I guess I'm sure y'all knew this, but I was just looking at it. You know, the 5 touchdowns that Taylor Green has thrown this year, all to 5 different people. So nobody has multiple touchdowns here on this team. And then the leading wide receiver has none. So make it make sense. Make it make sense. I don't know if that's possible.
Who are the 5 touchdowns? I mean, Satania has Ty Washington.
That's right.
Who else caught touchdowns?
Tesla.
Oh, Tesla, of course. Who's the 5th one? I'm trying to think. Did Rodney Hill catch one, or like something weird happened? Jaquina Jackson?
Nope.
Who caught that other touchdown?
Tyrone Broden.
He caught a touchdown. Who did he catch a touchdown against?
I was waiting for to see if you were going to go with Broden there, but yeah, Tyrone Broden, he caught a touchdown against UAPB.
Oh,
yep.
So that seems like a decade ago at this point.
I know. That didn't even seem like it was a real game. Yeah.
Team leader in touchdowns, Tyrone Broden. The fact that anyone disrespects, it's crazy.
Yeah. I know we got some other buyers, so I wanted to bring this up though real quick too, because Floyd says, "Do you guys think we're using Satania wrong, or can't we just can't get him the ball because of the O line?" I mean, I don't know how you'd be using him wrong. He's gotten targets. He's got 16 receptions on the year.
Yeah, I mean, they like 2 games ago, they were hitting him down the field, and in the last game, it seemed like they were trying to force the ball into his hands and then let him try to create in space, but he just wasn't able to do it. And that's not necessarily his fault. He might not have had the blocking in front of him or whatever, but the stats I think said he was targeted like 11 times or something, but PFF said 8. So that's a lot of targets. So I don't know. I don't guess I really have an issue with it.
I was going to say, I actually don't think they everything we've asked them to do with Satania, they've pretty much done it. They've thrown, like you said, they've thrown to him down the field. They've done the jet passes. They've done the bubbles. I thought they've actually been a little bit more creative here lately in trying to get him the ball. But yeah, A&M was just pretty prepared for it and did a good job. But I actually think Satania and Armstrong are the 2 guys you can make an argument they've used very well.
I want to throw this one out there as another buy or sell for the football side of things too. Buy or sell that Malachi Singleton plays against Tennessee this weekend.
I almost did an automatic sell, but then I started thinking about it.
I think he comes into the game for the final possession and a half when the score is 48-17. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. That's kind of what I think is going to happen.
I think I might be with you, man. I might have to buy it.
I'm buying it. I'm buying it too. And I have I'm not wishing this into existence, but the reason I'm buying it is because I think Taylor Green may struggle mightily. And it's not even just because of the score. I think it may be maybe he has those cramps again, or whatever it was. But
needed to get him an IV. He was they just telepathically gave it to him while he was standing there.
Yeah. I'm probably going to go with Malachi Singleton playing. I'm not saying he'll play a lot, but I think he plays in this game.
Complaining. Do y'all forget that Malachi Singleton played against Auburn? Like everyone's who's like, why can't we give him a chance? It's like they did, and I mean, I know it was 3 plays, but we saw what it looked like.
Had he have led a scoring drive, would Taylor Green would have miraculously been hydrated for the next drive?
No, he wouldn't have been.
Yeah. Well, the more you play football, the more electrolytes go in your body, I hear. So more hits you take. But I'm honestly asking, guys. I'm honestly asking this, just maybe in specifically Razorback history. How many times has a constant call for a backup quarterback, when that's happened, actually worked out? Where you're like, see, we were right. This was. And don't tell me Chad Morris, because everyone sucked. But when has that ever actually worked? I can't remember a time. Maybe way back when it was Zach Clark and they wanted Matt Jones, and maybe that would be the case. But I just don't understand where people think that that's just going to magically fix things, because in the history of Razorback football, maybe it's worked at other places, but I just don't remember a time where people were calling for a backup quarterback. The backup quarterback came in and was better than the starting quarterback.
you could make an argument that when Nutt took out Johnson and inserted Dick, that was a time where people were calling for the backup, and it worked out okay. So I think that was probably it. I meant to touch on this a long time ago. We got a great comment here from Kiss Off the Glass, who said, "Has a player ever regained confidence after being called out by their coach for losing it?" Which obviously happened with Taylor Green this past weekend, or on Monday, well, and Saturday. I think that's a great question, but I also think we just don't know how Taylor Green, Z was talking about this yesterday, how some players you kind of need to coddle them. Some players kind of need you to get in their face and challenge them. We don't know how Taylor Green responds. Like, we don't know what it is that's going to motivate him. And so I think it's a fascinating question that we don't know the answer to. We'll just have to find out.
I think we're reaching the point of, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, I think we're reaching the point of the word simplify with Taylor Green, because rattled and lacks confidence. And then we're hearing all these things about his progressions and his reads. And Sam Pittman was saying like, Texas A&M was messing with him. And he's got a lot on his plate, making a lot of decisions. It sounds like they need to just, and I hate it, but really, if he's going to be your guy, he needs to think less and play more. And so you got to put him in positions to do that. I don't know what that looks like, but it comes across more to me as, rather than maybe a lack of confidence, like he's just overwhelmed with everything. Like, my throwing motion changed over the summer, and I'm trying to make sure my footwork and my mechanics are right every time. And then, I got this read and this progression. What's the defense doing here? I gotta make this check at the line of scrimmage. It's just like one thing after another, and it almost feels like it's too much for him. I'm not saying that's okay, and that's not a red flag, but he seems overwhelmed to me more than he does like not confident.
Well, what's funny is I've also never really seen that work out where they're like, we're mid-season, we're simplifying